Well, today I was going to try and take the carb off the lister. It doesn't really need to come off, it was just to have a look at it and show everybody, because there isn't really a thing on it. Anyway, I started to take it off. It's a bit better day today. And I started to take it off, and the screw, I checked, the bolts came out and everything, but I got to the governor rod and it was seized, so I thought, well, we'll leave it. So I'll put it back. It's not totally together, but I put it back again. I thought, I'll have a look at the tap and just see, because they leak. All these brass taps leak. And it needs lapping in a bit, that's all. And it's a bit seized up on there, so that should give us something to do. And I got a tin of carb cleaner, you see. Anyway, first thing I've got to do to address is tell you that I said someone sent me a lot of money for Christmas. Well, it was Jonathan, of course. I failed to mention that. And then I got I think it was yesterday morning, got a parcel come. It was early-ish as well, and I sort of knew what it was, and I thought it was from one of my racing mates. So, I didn't open it straight away, and I didn't video opening it. Anyway, this is what it is. And if you can see that, that's who it's from. I thanked him online, so there we are. So, people are being generous, aren't they? Right, so because this is now the only problem here, I'll give this a good spray up first, but there is a problem. I've had one tiny look. That little tiny split pin is seized in there, and I haven't got another one, so that's going to have to be non-standard when it goes, but I'm sure I ain't got one that small. Well, I managed to get the pin out the hole in the end, and I've had a look at my stock, and somewhere I had some about that size. Anyway, the closest I've got that I can find, and I've been looking for quite a long while, is a little nail that goes in. I'm zoomed in a bit on the camera, so there. So we'll have to add the character to it. Don't matter, because I hardly run it. Now, what I'm doing this for, as I say, is just to show you how to lap the tap in. And if I come closer, if it'll focus in a minute. It might not, because I'm not holding it still enough. Anyway, there you go. If you see that, it's pockmarked and scored quite badly. So, now I'm not doing this, it doesn't leak very much. All these taps leak. What it is, someone on the Lister Facebook page said, could he get a new tap, brass tap, because his leaks? Well, they all leak. That's the thing. It doesn't leak much, and I never put more than a cup full of petrol in anyway, so it's totally irrelevant. So I'm just, like I keep saying, I got the engine, so I'm going to use some Solvol on it and just lap it in. This isn't a how-to video. I'm just going to do it because that's what I'm doing with this engine. And I've show you at the end, I've just cleaned some of the muck off, given it a light, you don't want very much on. You can't even see what I'm doing, there you are. Right, you don't want much on, look. That's plenty. I'll put this in the cap and put it down, and then, well, just zoomed in just to show, I'm only showing you once or twice. Right, you know where it went from there, right? So all you have to do, you know how to lap things in anyway, but I'm just showing you how it works, because it does work. And it's better, because this tap's only gone from there to there, it's better if you only do it where the tap goes. And the only other thing to tell you that, now, let me just get this cloth and wipe it. Now you can use toothpaste to do this, but it's a little bit fine. But now I don't know if you can see on there or not, but it's doing a job already, isn't it? Can you see? It's doing quite a bit of job already. So I'll wipe this out and then we'll show you putting. I will just talk to you and show you put it back together. But that's how you do it anyway. Just wipe it out, and you only want a little bit on. Do it a few times, and you can feel when it's in the right place. You know, on a worn tap. Well, I've done that a couple more times, and I'll hold it up, and hopefully you can see it. Let me just. Oh, the camera, there we are. Hopefully you can see what you're after is like running valves in, you know, a line all the way around. Because you do, as I say, you don't want to do it too much, but I'm sure you can see the difference on that, and you can't see in there anyway. So that seems alright, that does. So now we've got to put the plate on. There's a little brass thing here that goes on to let you turn it. I don't know which way it goes actually, that way maybe. Yeah, that's it. I've not cleaned that up, it doesn't matter. And then we've got a very rusty spring, very tiny. I'm trying to hold it without dropping it, because if I drop it in this room, it'll disappear and you'll never see it again. See? Tiny little rusty spring which goes on there like that, and then there's a washer that goes on there, and then you have to press the spring down and put the circlip in, which is in my case is a nail. So that's going in like that. We'll tap it in a bit more till the head's on there, and cutters, oh, they're over here, I know where they are. If I can cut them with this, if not I will stop and because what I've got to do now is cut that off there, if possible. Yeah, it's gone off, and that's it. That's not going to come out. It's hardly being used, is it? You know, I'm not leaving it or anything. But what I will do, I'll do it just off camera again. I'll just give that a very, very slight bend, right, on that end. So it won't come out then, will it? That's what I'm trying to say. So there we are. Oh, and I gave it a clean up, and I'm not even wiping my engine. I want it. I like originality, you see. And so, as I said, it's only to play with. And I'm not even wiping the oil off it. You know, I might just go over it with an oily rag sometime, but at the moment I'm doing very little with it, as I say. But these nice old engines and that, just to show you one little bit on here, if you have some nice brass, get some metal polish on it. I mean, I know you know this, but I've got a, what's its name, buffing wheel. You know, I could buff it up if I wanted, but I'm doing this one little tiny piece on this tap to show you just how nice old brass comes. Only I've just got to hold it in the light. There you are, look. See how little bit I've done? And as I say, I've only lightly wire brushed it. So there we are. Anyway, I've cleaned the filter out and I've blasted it with things, so that's the job done today. Well, one or two may remember that my mate Mark gave me these meters to do something with a year or two ago, you know, and I've got two here. They're not that heavy. I just thought, oh, it would be cool if I could. Well, it can be done, of course. I know it can be done, but it's too long ago since I did anything like this. What I'm trying to do is to show you. I can't do it, can I? Like that. Hang on. What I'm trying to do is show you what they say, and I'll read it off the other one. Right? That's what the best plan is, I think. Right, it says here, maximum demand indicator, 5 amps. It says AG 15 minutes. I don't know what that means. Anyway, as I say, we've got these nice big ammeters, and like I said, I know it could be done, right, but I don't know how to. So on that, just hung on the wall in the shed, you know, in my generating shed, I thought one of these would be alright, but I don't know how to wire it up. And as I say, I don't know if it could be done, obviously, you know, and I haven't got any electrical mates to ask at the moment, so if anybody knows, you know, if it's easy to do, not if it's difficult, but if it is possible, but if it's fairly easy to do, we might just do that later, just for a play. Right, thanks a lot.